judge Israel way harsher per capita than they judge the Muslim countries and the Christian persecution, the Muslim honor killings of women, the persecution of gays in like several countries. So it's like, oh, let's just criticize Israel. And it's like fucking liberals. It's like, hey, you'd be the first one they're targeting in these Muslim countries. So it's like fucking wisen up. I was also thinking about Rwanda, right? Um, I don't remember a single blue-haired progressive person protesting what happened in Rwanda in 1994. 800,000 to 1 million people were murdered in a few months, basically between April and July 1994. And nobody talks about that kind of shit, right? Um, about 45,000 to 50,000 women and girls are killed annually by partners or family members in the Muslim communities worldwide, right? That doesn't even include thousands of additional gender motivated honor killings within the traditional communities. And as of 2026, homosexuality is criminalized in 35 Muslim majority countries in roughly a dozen jurisdictions, including Iran, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Mauritania, Nigeria, Somalia. Legal code allows for death penalty under specific interpretations of Sharia law. That doesn't happen in Israel. So why are people so much harder on Israel? I mean, I know that the Gaza thing is horrible, but that's also partly because of the Hamas and all that, you know, making it difficult to, you know, there's no excuse for some of the stuff happening. But I'm just saying, why is Israel judged so much harsher than the Muslim countries or people in Nigeria killing Christians? Why don't people care about when Christians are killed? Do you know how many Christians have been being killed in Nigeria recently? Thousands. Thousands for going to church. You know? Does nobody care about Christians? In the sub-Saharan Africa? In the Middle East and South Asia? In the Congo and Burkina Faso and Nigeria? Over 4,000 Christians killed annually by groups like Boko Haram and militant Fulani herdsmen. But nobody fucking talks about it. Why? But, oh, Israel this, Israel that. What about fucking Nigeria? You know? It's because people just want to blame Israel for everything. You know? I'll tell you what. If I was a Christian, I'd much rather live in Israel than Nigeria or any Muslim country. Oh, but they get bad on. No, they don't. Not that much. It doesn't happen as much as you say it does. Very rare, actually. People just looking for shit. Um, Christians face lethal persecution from extremist factions in countries like Syria, Iraq, and Pakistan. So, so how come? Yeah, but but how come there's so many Christians killed, and nobody talks about it? You know what I mean? Like thousands, thousands killed. It's never in the news hardly at all. In Syria, there's a bunch killed. In Nigeria, there's a bunch killed. It's like they don't matter. You know, same thing with South African. The farmers getting persecuted over there. It's just like everyone's focused on like whatever the news tells them, but there's like a lot of other shit going on in the world at the same time. You know, more Christians live in Muslim countries than Israel. Yeah, but Israel does not persecute Christians. There's Christians live peacefully in Israel. Once in a while, some stupid Hasidic person spits or something. That doesn't happen, and then some fucking bigot makes a big deal about it. But it doesn't happen that often. It's not like if you're walking down the street in Nigeria going to church and someone can fucking just openly, you know. Uh, but think about that also. The Hutus and the Tutsis. Between 800,000 and a million people were killed between April and July 1994. I never remember any progressives protesting against that. I wonder why. You know, why do people like pick and choose? Like, people pick and if you're gonna protest Gaza, protest all the other shit too. You know, people should be protesting when Christians get killed. When there's honor killings for Muslims, that should be protested too. Why are Muslims so protected against people protesting that kind of shit? You know? Oh, just bring in the Muslims. It's like that's not going to happen here. Give me a fucking break. I'm just fucking sick of the double standards. Is anybody else sick of the double standards? You know? All anybody does is criticize Israel anymore. That's all I hear about on Twitter. Israel this, Israel that. What about all the other fucking places in the West Bank? Is that like the I'm sure that happens, but I'm saying comparatively. If you compare like how many it happens in like other countries and in the Muslim countries, it's much safer to be a Christian in Israel, trust me. Let me see. How many were killed in West Bank? Uh I know they did bomb a church and that sucks. Um by the way, I'm not excusing Israel. I'm just saying that the criticism is disproportionate. Um, Iran, Iraq, Syria. Let me see. So, while no mass casualty events targeting Christians specifically have been reporting, there have been some killed in the West Bank, largely during the Palestinians. And well, I've been unplugging for years, dude. I never talk about this shit at all. I never talk about this shit at all. But all I see lately is like it's like people ignoring certain things and then just like hyper focusing on certain things. That's all. You know. Are you talking about the countries that Christian United? No, I'm not talking about. No, like in Nigeria, the Christians there weren't invaded. They're Nigerian Christians. They're not being killed because they're like white invaders. There's tons of Nigerian Christians and they get killed just for being Christian, and nobody talks about it. You know. I don't know. I just think that there's like I just see a disproportionate amount of um if you consider the numbers, you know. So I don't even usually like to talk about this kind of stuff, but it's just on my mind.